This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn. During the next 2 hours, we're going to talk about everything from healthy teas that will detoxify you to a new book in just a couple of moments called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. And as we begin the real holiday season, we'll talk about how volunteerism can change our lives, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. And we'll be starting that in just a couple of moments. We'll also find out about perfectionism and why perfectionism may not be the best thing for us. And we will be starting a new series this hour, we hope, with two doctors called The Truth About Medicine. That'll be happening during this hour of Late Night Health. All right, we go to upstate New York and we join Robert Clancy. Robert, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me on your show. It's a true pleasure to be here.
Our pleasure. Let's talk about volunteerism. I mean, this is the time of year that people do things like they go down to soup kitchens. They help the homeless. They tend to forget about it, at Halloween time. 4th of July is not a big time for volunteerism. Is volunteerism something we should be doing all the time?
I absolutely, totally believe that. And my definition of volunteerism is really anything you do to help someone else and ease their day. So it can even start with just a simple smile to getting your hands in there and having, let's say, as you said, volunteer at a soup kitchen, but at this time of year, food pantries really need our help. So that's one way. And if you're an organized person, that's a perfect fit because you're going to go in there and help organize and read labels, make sure nothing's expired. Very easy fit into your weekend plan, and they do need your help. But as you said, it's something that I think you start during the holiday season, but it would be wonderful if you could carry that over throughout the year. And there's a few ways to do that. And
we're going to talk about that. But you said something that struck a chord. You said just a simple thing like a smile. I recently had a client I was doing some media training for. And this is a man I've known for 25 years. And he doesn't smile. He's a very bright man. And he just never smiles. And it must be something like, because we've all had this, when we're young, our moms would say something to us like, don't make a face, smile, right? And so this guy never smiled. And I made him walk around smiling. I made him go to a park and a mall. And I asked him the results. And he said, people responded to me. They smiled back. Isn't that,
Absolutely.
That's a real great thing, isn't it?
It's the only contagion we can spread with our face. You put a smile on your face. And I've actually come up with a few decodes. I have an upcoming book, and I have these little life decodes at the end of each chapter. Mm-hmm. And one of them is, it just questions you. It says, do you smile when you're alone? And think of the benefits that you can get from that. I think I have a degree in psychology, although I don't use it. I'm a graphic designer, programmer. But what I learned is you can change the chemistry in your mind. And when you share that smile, 99% of the time, somebody will smile back at you. So I walk into the mall and do exactly what you said. Smile at somebody, hold the door. It's a tool that we carry with us every day. And how often do we use it? And it's something that I think if you bring it into your work interview, how scared you are going into a work interview,
Absolutely.
You're applying for a job,
right?
And people don't smile. And if you brought that in, you'd probably get the job 9 times out of 10 because people want to be with people that are happy, that are centered in their life. And, how not to do that? I mean, you have this tool that you carry with you and you walk out the door with it and then you don't use it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's an easy tool. I think it's actually, I read someplace that it's less effort, less muscles to smile than to frown.
Yep. I have seen that one too.
Right?
And, it's less work, so why not do it?
Why not? And you get so much back out of it. Let's talk about volunteerism. By the way, the book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, legendary actor, I remember him from Wyatt Earp, right? Wrote the foreword to your first book. How did you hook up with Hugh O'Brian?
Well, that's a great question, and I had the honor of meeting him in the mid-'90s after volunteering with his organization, the Hugh O'Brian Youth Leadership Foundation, and it's HOBY for short. It's in pretty much every high school in the country. It's in every state. It's in 38 countries, I believe, or more around the world. And he had one of these, what I call soul hitches. He went to Lambertine, Africa in 1958 to meet Dr. Albert Schweitzer. And during that visit, he worked in the hospital. He faked his way in there pretending to be a doctor because he wanted to meet Schweitzer. Schweitzer put him to work.
That's funny.
He worked in the hospital volunteering, and at the end he had these nightly dinners with Schweitzer, and Schweitzer took his hands on the last night and said, "When you return, what are you going to do with these? What are you going to do with these hands?" And on the flight back, because as Hugh told me, it took forever because it's a prop plane. It's one of those aluminum planes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Take like 3 days to get back to Los Angeles. And he thought, I need to do something. I need to make some changes in our world. And he started this wonderful program that teaches leadership service through community service, leadership development. And these young people come in, high school sophomores, to a 3-day or 4-day leadership seminar, and it's life-changing. They go back to their communities, and they become a satellite of volunteerism, positivity. They help other people. They inspire the other students in their school, and the enthusiasm level is through the roof. So when I was putting together my book, I asked Hugh, and he graciously said, "Absolutely, you've been volunteering for my organization for over 20 years at that point." And I said, this is just has changed me as much as it has changed these students that come through as a volunteer. And I had 2 wonderful weeks speaking to him every night where he told me why he founded his program. It was sort of like he was handing the torch off to me, saying, "You're one of the few volunteers nationally who's been involved this long, and you need to hear directly from me." He's in his 90s now. He's still kicking. So
I was going to say that I didn't even know he was still alive. I mean, he stopped acting early. I mean, he was such a good-looking, virile man, but he gave back. I think he does an acting scholarship too, and some other things too. Our guest is the author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. How does a graphic artist, a programmer who spends his day either doing, I guess it's zeros and ones, and designing stuff, graphic stuff. How did you get into this whole spiritual movement, if you will?
Well, that's an interesting point, because I am the most analytical person you'll probably meet. I am a programmer. My company, my wife and I founded it 26 years ago. It's Spiral Design Studio, and we've worked on projects like for Guitar Hero and Disney and Citigroup and all different things. So I'm a coder. I can visualize the code.
Wow.
And when I've met, I've never really read any of these the spiritual books. I've met these people now, and they're saying you are like one of a kind, because we don't have people that are digit heads who are also balanced in the holistic side. And I think it comes out of my volunteer work. I had a spiritual experience at age 19. I hit rock bottom in my life, and I meditated for the first time, and it just transformed everything for me. It's I just felt everything connected, and through that experience, I turned my own life around. I was an A student up to that, and then I was failing. I lost friends to suicide, the whole thing, and your life falls apart. And no one knew I was struggling. And that's when this, a woman in the restaurant I worked at said, "You need to learn how to meditate." So that opened the door for me.
And do you still meditate today?
Yeah, every night. You can even do quick meditations. It doesn't have to be this 3-hour, that's the way I did in the first one. But if you just close your eyes when you're laying down and just think of what you're thankful for that whole day and center yourself. And if you want to say a prayer, you can. I do, and I just kind of just ground myself before I go to sleep, and I think of something positive.
It's a great idea, and it's a real good way of hitchhiking through life with Robert Clancy, our guest. I'm Mark Alyn, and this is Late Night Health. Robert and I are going to take a time out in just a moment or so. Do we have time for one quick? No, we don't. Okay, I was going to ask one last question. I jumped the gun. We're going to come back in just a couple of moments and continue our discussion. It makes so much sense to me that, especially at this holiday time, that we have so much in our lives to be grateful and thankful for, that giving back is something that seems to me to be really important. So we're going to do that. I'll let you know what I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks. How's that? All right. Late Night Health continues. Robert Clancy will be back. Of course, we have the insane Daryl Wayne pushing the buttons and knobs, and he just waved to everybody. All right, join us at latenighthealth.com. Take a look around. Lots of great information. And, of course, all of our shows. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Have you ever needed a flashlight and reached into a drawer to find your flashlight is dead, and then go to put in new batteries only to find the insides are all corroded? Now Hybrid Light has created a solar-powered flashlight that requires no batteries and also charges your cell phone. Hybrid lights are durable, waterproof, and hold a charge in the dark for up to 7 years, and perfect for any emergency or everyday use. Now you can get your own Hybrid Light today for only $34.95, and if you mention health, you'll receive a Hybrid Light headlamp absolutely free. That's our durable Hybrid Light with a free headlamp for only $34.95. A value of $60, only $34.95. Call us today at 800-297-8109. That's 800-297-8109 to get this special Hybrid Light offer today. 800-297-8109, 800-297-8109. In the promo code box, type in HEALTH. 800-297-8109.
If you're struggling to pay or haven't been making your student loan payments, listen carefully to this urgent alert. Have you been out of school for 10 or more years and you're still making your student loan payments? Are your student loans past due or even in default? Can't go back to school because of an old student loan problem? We can help you if you qualify. Your student loans can be taken out of default. We can stop the wage garnishments, stop the collection calls, and stop the seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and see if we can help you reduce your student loan payments. One quick 10-minute call could solve them right now. So call the Student Loan Helpline now.
800-419-2201. 800-419-2201. 800-419-2201. That's 800-419-2201.
This is a fee-based document preparation service to help you access free government programs. Call for complete details. Not available in all states.